Hey guys, softball here. Just wanted to give a few final thoughts on creating these blocks and what it's meant for me, what it's meant for the region, and a few final tips. I just finished yesterday completing all of the blocks for this year's round of Iron Packs finishers for our region. So I'm really excited to be done with that. It's been a long process, and part of this how-to series is to engage, support, not only regionally, but if any other regions are interested in doing something like this, I know that there are out there. I got the idea from another region, I forget which. But instead of making them year-round, one of the thoughts I had originally was to tie it to the Iron Packs Challenge. It's something that happens once a year. It's a way to get guys engaged, give them a little incentive to complete the challenge, to get involved, be a part of the leadership and the growth of the nation. And it's really turned into more of a yearly delta in picking up the six. You know, when there's a physical block here and a guy doesn't come to pick it up, the light goes off in my head, and anybody else who knows him is like, oh, hey, where is this guy? What's going on with him? How can we get him back out to work out? So part of it is retaining new guys or guys that have been around a while and getting those cotters back out. So it's been a great process. It's been a lot of work. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't love F3 and everything that F3 has done for me. This is just one of my ways of giving back. So if you have any questions, feel free to send me a note on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at nojo15, or you can reach me on Slack. I'm softball. I'm the only softball somehow that I know of in F3 Nation. There probably is others by now, but few final notes on materials that I like to use just for your reference. As far as paint goes, I really like the Rust-Oleum. Use a lot of black and white. It gives really good colors, goes on well, doesn't bleed too much. Is probably the best I've used. And I would definitely recommend going for the flat sheen. If you get something that's glossy or satin, a lot of times when you're applying the layer mask of the printed design to the block, if it's got that satin or glossy sheen on there, that's the tape doesn't want to stick to that as well. So, but I found it sticks really well to the flat sheen, and it's a good look. Couple other things, you're gonna want lots of tape, lots of double-sided tape, X-Acto knives, lots of blades. You'll be going through a lot of these blades. I found about one blade per block, so 67 blocks. You do the math. It's a lot. Let's see, what else? Of course, make sure you got a respirator, paint mask, lots of gloves to protect your hands, unless you care. If you don't care about your hands getting all spray painted. Let's see, what else? So I mentioned this in a previous video. I've used this RAM board, this kind of thicker cardboard for a lot of my repeatable templates. Works really well. Actual cardboard might be too thick. I haven't tried that, but you could try that. So a lot of these templates here, I went ahead and made in the first year, thinking that I'd be reusing them. So for the F3 logo on one side, I start with white, come back after, do black over that. Looks really clean. Let's see. On one side of the block, I do an IPC finisher. Take these letters out. So I come through, do white on the block, on the background, just kind of spray it everywhere for contrast. Come back and do black with this color. And then come back and do a final layer of just the P and the R to bring the white back into those sections of the letters. let's see, right along the IPC finishers on the back side, I've got year numbers, so I come through and do those in black. And then I just, you know, if they only have 2 years finishers, I mask off that circle, or 1 year finisher, mask off that circle, spray paint it, and then come back and do the year numbers in white. And the way I cut these out was to just make them so they'd match right at the edge of the block. So I didn't have to think about, you know, am I putting it in the right place? It always matches up to the edge of the block and the top, and I know that's where it needs to go so that the designs match up. Another one I like to do as well is for our respect packs. There are these little respect badges for each level of respect. So respect, double, triple respect. If somebody gets to quadruple, then I'll create that too. So I start off with white there. Again, just aligning it to the edge of the block. I do blue on that, and I'm happy to share the document I used to print these out and then cut the stencil with. And then an R on top is the third to round out that respect. And there's some other things we do in the Puget Sound, other events, CSOPs that may be out there that you might want to tie into as kind of like a badge or the next thing to go for. Kind of in lieu of a patch, I guess. Patches are great, but it's cool to get these added to your block as you progress in your F3 journey and bag different accomplishments and events. So we have Extreme Week out in the Puget Sound, you've probably heard of. Any Extreme Week finisher, I put a black X on their block, followed by some white arrows that kind of point at the X. So just to give you an idea of what that looks like. So you can see here we've got a double respect packs, Instacart. He's an Extreme Week finisher this year, and he is 62, so he gets double respect. This is his first year finishing iron packs, so he gets a 21 bubble. Next year if he finishes, he'll get another one, and so on and so on, and there's plenty of space. Probably go a decade here. And then the final side is the F3 logo. One other thing that I'm trying out for this year is this stuff. After coming back and doing the black on the top of the F3 logo, I came back one more time and did the same shape of the F3 logo with a glow-in-the-dark paint. It glows in the dark green, looks pretty badass if I don't say so myself. You shine some line on it and this thing is glowing in the gloom, which is pretty awesome. Just the last note I'll say is I know some other guys in other regions will use Mod Podge to seal the design in the block so it doesn't get all scratched up. I don't think many guys in Puget Sound use the blocks to work out, but you can, and that's a good way to seal it up and protect the art on each side. So what I do, I just grab this dead flat, clear, durable top coat, and I just spray that over each face of the block pretty liberally whenever I'm finished, and that finishes the design. So anybody who's followed along in this series, thanks for taking a look. I hope you find some ideas that you might want to take into your region and make it a tradition, make it a thing. And it's really just a good way to keep guys engaged, keep them excited and going for that next level of accomplishment within F3. So definitely a huge shout out to the guys in Greenwood, creators of Iron Packs. I probably would not have come up with this if they hadn't created the challenge to start with. So huge shout out to those guys. Thank you for starting the Iron Packs competition in F3 and continuing to run it each year. I know that's a huge lift, so appreciate you guys, and hope to see you guys out in the gloom soon. This is Softball signing out.